Of course. Here's a 1500-word emotional and powerful script in English based on the title. A struggling waitress asks the billionaire CEO, "Sir, why is my mother's picture in your wallet?" It was a rainy Tuesday evening in New York. The kind where people rush inside, their umbrellas flipping in the wind, boots splashing through puddles, desperate to escape the cold drizzle. The tiny diner on Fifth Avenue, Rosie's Place, buzzed with the clatter of plates, the aroma of fresh coffee, and the hum of conversation. Amid all this stood Emily, a 22-year-old waitress with tired eyes and a warm smile. Her brown hair was tied in a messy ponytail, her shoes slightly worn, and her uniform a bit faded. But her heart, still kind, still hopeful. She balanced plates of pancakes and refilled mugs, all while checking her phone every few minutes, hoping for news about her sick mother back home in Brooklyn. Her mom, Linda, had been battling an illness for over a year, and the medical bills were piling up like snow in January. That night, just as the dinner rush started to slow, the diner's door swung open. A tall man stepped inside, wearing a dark tailored suit. His presence immediately shifted the room's energy. He had silver hair, a strong jawline, and the kind of posture that said, "I'm used to people listening when I speak." It was Richard Blake, the billionaire CEO of Blake Enterprises, the richest man in the state, and one of the most mysterious. No one expected to see someone like him at a place like this. Emily, ever professional, approached his booth with a notepad in hand. "Good evening, sir. What can I get you?" she asked politely. He didn't look up right away. He stared at the menu for a moment before replying, "Just coffee." Black. As she poured his coffee, Emily noticed something fall from his wallet when he pulled it out to pay, a small, slightly crumpled photograph. She instinctively bent down to pick it up. Her hands froze. It was a picture of her mother, younger, vibrant, standing in front of a sunflower field. The same picture that sat on their fireplace at home. Emily blinked, her heart racing. She turned the photo over. The handwriting on the back said, "Linda, summer of '89, my sunshine." She looked up at the CEO, stunned, her voice trembling. "Sir, why is my mother's picture in your wallet?" Richard's eyes locked onto hers. For a moment, he said nothing. Just stared, as if time had collapsed around him. Then, quietly, he spoke. "Your mother's name is Linda." Emily nodded slowly, her hands gripping the edge of the table. "I don't understand," she whispered. "Who are you to her?" Richard's voice softened. "I haven't heard that name spoken in decades." He motioned for her to sit. She hesitated, then slid into the booth across from him, her apron still dusted with flour. "I met Linda in 1988, he began. I was fresh out of college. No money, no connections. I was working as a mechanic in a small garage in upstate New York. Your mother, she worked at the flower shop next door." He paused, eyes glistening with memory. "She was the brightest soul I'd ever met. Always wore yellow, always laughed from her stomach. We fell in love that summer." Emily stared, speechless. "But I was ambitious," Richard continued. "I got a business opportunity in California. I asked her to come. She said no. Her family was here. Her roots were here." He sighed. "I left. Told her I'd be back. I never did. I buried myself in work, built an empire, became a man I thought the world would admire. But I never stopped carrying that photo." He looked at Emily. "When I saw you tonight, you looked just like her. Same eyes. Same fire." Tears welled up in Emily's eyes. "My mom, she never talked about the past. She raised me alone. Always said my dad was just someone who belonged to another time." Richard looked down. "I didn't know she had a child. I didn't know she had you." Emily's heart was pounding. "All these years, you never reached out." "I didn't think I deserved to," he admitted. "She was too good for me then, and probably still is now. But I always kept her photo. I wanted to remember what love looked like, before the world changed me. There was a long silence. Emily stood, unsure of what to feel. Anger, sadness, confusion. She's very sick, she finally said, voice cracking. And I can't afford the treatment she needs. We've sold almost everything. And I work double shifts every day just to keep the lights on. Richard's jaw tightened. What hospital? He asked firmly. Emily blinked. What hospital is she in, Emily? He repeated, more urgently. She told him. He nodded, pulling out his phone. Within minutes, he was speaking with his personal assistant. I want the best private care team sent to Brooklyn. Room upgraded. Around the clock specialists. I don't care what it costs. Do it now, he ordered. Emily stood there, stunned. I don't know what to say. Say you'll forgive me someday, Richard said softly. I don't expect to be your father. But if there's even a chance to be part of your lives, to make up for the time I lost. Tears streamed down Emily's cheeks. I think she'd want to see you. Richard rose slowly, pulling out the photo and holding it gently. I've made a lot of money in my life, he said. But nothing I ever bought means more than this photograph. He looked at Emily, a softness breaking through the armor of years. And nothing will mean more than making things right with both of you. Later that night, as Richard stood quietly at Linda's hospital bedside, her eyes fluttered open. She blinked twice, then gasped. Rich, she said, almost in disbelief. He smiled gently, gripping her frail hand. I'm here, sunshine, he whispered. And I'm never leaving again. Emily watched from the doorway, heart heavy but full. Sometimes, the past doesn't stay buried. Sometimes, fate walks into a diner on a rainy night, carrying a wallet and a second chance.